I'm Chef Connie Powers. Join me today on Farm to Fork. We're going to be visiting a nice little shop, the Fancy Pantry in Bobcaygeon, Ontario. We're going to be making a spatchcock chicken and a delicious risotto that is so simple. I'm about to carve this up. Come on and join me. Welcome to our series, Farm to Fork. I'm Chef Connie Powers, and you're watching Rogers TV. Today, I am taking you to my hometown at 73 Bolton Street, Bobcaygeon, Ontario, a really interesting foodie store called the Fancy Pantry. There, we're going to be meeting Helen and Richard, who own it, operate it, and work really hard to bring us delicious things in a small town. What I want to do today is use some of the products that I picked up there. So I have a risotto mix that I'm going to be making. I'm using one of the olive oils that I got there, and I'm going to be using a dry rub on a spatchcock chicken. Our dinner today consists of a nice roast chicken with some aromatics and vegetables, and as a side, we're going to be making the risotto. So let's get started. I have a chicken, and you'll notice that I've got it on a special board, and I'm wearing gloves. That way you just clean it all up and start fresh with everything else. So when you're going to spatchcock a chicken, which just means to butterfly it and roast it open, you can use some ordinary kitchen scissors, you can use a chef's knife. Makes the job a little harder. If you feel like it's a necessary thing for your kitchen, I have some chicken shears. These are poultry shears. They will cut through anything. So flip your bird. It's not a very big chicken today. We're just doing a small one. Flip it upside down and start cutting through the spine. This is not a pretty thing, but look at how easy these shears make it. It just goes. So that's it. It's all done. And then you this is not the nicest thing. And then you flip it upside down and you just make sure the backbone is flat and your chicken is ready to start dressing in your roasting pan. So I'm going to take these off and we are going to start using our roasting pan and getting the chicken ready for roasting. Now the first thing you should do is put a little bit of oil on your roasting pan. I'm going to be using the Favuzzi lemon oil. There's a basil one. There might be a rosemary one. I'm not sure, but it's an infused oil. You can just use regular olive oil as well. This roasting pan is a little bit big for our small chicken, but that's okay. Now you see, I was pretty generous with it. And that's because I really don't want all of my vegetables to stick. Then we're going to be putting in the aromatics. Now, I don't put the chicken first. I put the aromatics first so that the chicken has a bridge. It's not sitting flat on the roasting pan. So we're going to add in some onions, one onion. I've got some celery. I'm going to chop that up a little bit. Just rough chop, and you'll see that I'm going to be building a little bridge, a little barrier. And then I have some carrots. I'm keeping them fairly chunky, fairly big cuts so that they can take some time to roast and not get too mushy. This isn't the fun part. The fun part is dressing that chicken up. And then, if you have it in your fridge, I've got some peppers, some little tiny sweet peppers. That's just going to add some flavor. You could even add a dried tomato, sun-dried tomato. I've got a clove of garlic. I'm not mincing it. I'm keeping it fairly good size. Garlic is not something I use in chicken a lot, but it does give flavor. And I have an apple that didn't get used. I'm going to be throwing an apple in to add some sweetness. And then the bouquet of rosemary, sage, and thyme. So I'm just going to put that in there. Actually, no, I'm going to put it differently. And then our chicken's ready. So let's place him on top of his bridge. Nestle him down in there. And we take these little morsels I made. This is just salted butter with some scapes, garlic scapes. You could just use salted butter if you want. And I'm going to shove that nicely, delicately into the leg skin. Remember, we don't have the cavity to stuff anymore, so we need to use the pockets. So put this underneath the skin. There it is. Like so. There we go. But try and get it really far into the pocket so it really moistens the breast meat. And then I'm going to take the little bouquet that I almost put underneath, and I changed my mind, and I'm going to put it under the top skin here without piercing it, to let it really get in there nice. We have potatoes and Brussels sprouts, and they can go in now because they're fairly whole. I'm going to tuck all these things back in. So this is a one-pan meal you can make. Very easy on a snowy day where the oven warms your kitchen up a little bit. The potatoes will go in halves. Now I peeled these potatoes. You can leave them whole. The reason I peeled them is because these are from a farm, a local farm, Deer Bay Farm, and they're the real deal. I could smell the soil on them. I felt like I would like to peel these russets rather than clean that skin off. But you can leave it on. And I'm going to just place those. And now comes the fun part. All right, let's, first of all, we'll put a little bit more of the lemon oil on him so that our seasonings stick. All right, and we're going to be using the Kawartha Spice chicken rub. You can get this at Fancy Pantry. You can get it directly from Deborah at the Kawartha Spice. And each little container, so there's a beef rub, there's a pork rub, this one is the chicken dry rub. Each one comes with a bag so it seals. It's not just in the can. There's no salt in this, so this is a combination of, oh, I can smell cinnamon in there, I think. Delicious spices and herbs that she makes into a compound, and it's easy for you. Okay, so you can see that it's sticking to the chicken, and also the olive oil is making it really adhere. Okay, I'm going to put that on. I think there might be a little bit of coriander in there too. I could smell that. We're going to set that aside. Now, her spices do not include salt. That way you can add salt if you need to. So this is my salt, pepper, and garlic powder mix that I use on just about everything. It's a combo spice that I make myself, and it covers 3 bases. All right, that's it. We're going to put this in the oven. Now you can tent this. The idea is for it to roast freely. If you know me, you know I don't like to put things in my oven that are going to make a mess. I just tent it with a piece of parchment paper. That way the air can still flow. It doesn't seal it so that it's steamed. It doesn't make a mess in the oven. We're going to put this in the oven. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Chef Connie Powers. You're watching Rogers TV Farm to Fork. We just put a chicken in the oven. I put it on at 350, and now we're going to start the side. So another product that I purchased at the Fancy Pantry on Bolton Street in Bobcaygeon was some products from Funky Fungi. That's what it's called. And this one is a risotto with lion's mane mushrooms and pumpkin sage. This really sounded nice for a roast chicken dinner side. And then I picked this one up. It's a Thai soup with mushroom and lentils. We're not going to make that today, but that is ready to make. You add some broth, chicken, vegetable broth, whichever one you have, and then you add the contents and you've got soup. You cook it a little bit. We're going to set that one aside, but we're going to start making the risotto. So what we do is we just take any kind of a saute pan and we put in 5 cups of stock. So this is some stock I had in the freezer that I made previous. Now, a little something I just discovered. When you're thawing stock that has been in the freezer, the center has a block of ice. That block of ice, while it's thawing, has a tendency to pull out all of the fat, and the fat was clinging to that piece of ice. I threw it away. Brilliant. Nice, easy way. So we're looking for 5 cups of stock. There's 4. And the stock smells really good. You can buy stock in little cartons. That's good too. You can buy a bouillon cube that you can use, anything that suits you. We're going to start that. We're going to get that boiling. Once it starts to boil, we'll turn it down and we'll add this package. Now in this, it says it's for 4 people. You add nothing else, maybe a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. We're going to be adding in the mix. Now this has a lion's mane mushrooms, and I was just pulling them out on the top. They really do look like a lion's mane around the edge. These are amazing. I can smell the season, everything's in it. As soon as we have that boil, we add the contents of the packet. So the rice, everything is in it. And then we let it come back to a boil from that. Easy, easy, and it smells delicious. You can impress people with this dinner. It smells very nice. I just smelled some ginger in there. It's going to return to a boil, and we are going to then turn it down. We're going to take you on the tour. You're going to see the shop. You're going to meet Helen. Take a look at this. Good morning. Welcome to our Farm to Fork tour today. We find ourselves in Bobcaygeon, Ontario at 73 Bolton Street. This is a wonderful shop. It's owned by Helen Nestor, and this is a shop that is called Fancy Pantry. They don't want to be known as fancy. This is products that you can cook with. This is just pantry items. This is a great place to be. Let's go in and see what Helen wants to show us. Hi, Helen. We're back.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Chef.
There was a time when we were having dinner down the street, and I said to the person I was having dinner with, what this town needs is a food store, but not a fancy store, not a store where it's entertaining products. The kind of thing you can, you know, sometimes our grocery stores are a little limited because it's a small town, where I can come in and say to you, I need this compound spice, or I need this olive oil. We walked down the street, I saw your sign, and I thought it was amazing that it actually is here. What made you come to Bobcaygeon?
Well, I mean, we've come up from Toronto, and we have grown kids in Toronto, and we sort of looked at each other and we thought, do we want to spend, you know, the next number of years in Toronto? We thought, no, not Toronto. We went driving around. We went to every little small town that you can think of, and Bobcaygeon just kept on coming back in our head and back in our head. It felt like home. the moment we came here, and we thought, okay, it looks like it's going to be Bobcaygeon.
And you found this beautiful space.
We lucked out. You know, sometimes things are meant to be, and that's how it felt that day. It was the first day we started looking for a spot. I had a shop in Toronto 20 years ago, and I thought sometime in the future, when we've settled into where we want to live for a long period of time, I'll open up another shop. I try really hard to bring in Canadian products first, unless I absolutely can't find it, and that's probably because I need a little more time in my research. I spend so much time just trying to find product that is Canadian and support Canadian farmers and Canadian producers of food, and that's what we want to bring in here. The name was important too when I called it the Fancy Pantry. Yes, fancy, but not pretentious. This isn't just about chefs, even though you're a chef. It's about people at home making good food that they can eat. Every time someone comes in, there's something new. Not that I would be replacing something that we've had, but just bringing in more.
And if somebody comes in here and says, I really would like this product, and you don't have it, I know you source it.
It happens every day. Immediately that day, I go out and look.
I'm sure you do.
Speak to the person that makes that and tell them where we are, and they embrace it. It's like, yeah, we can send that to you, absolutely. That's the whole point, and it's not just me anymore looking for product. I feel like I have 1,000, 2,000 people out there looking as well. If they like it, they'll bring it in. Just like when we started, it was things that we liked, but now it's growing to that much more. Absolutely.
This looks like a breakfast.
This is breakfasty, honey. Well, it's funny because a lot of people say, okay, so your kitchen, but I see that, what's the themes here? And my brain doesn't quite work like that. I like to mix things up so that you're getting honey with granola, with bars, with, you know, things that you would have in a cocktail, because this is not just about, you know, breakfast. This is about your life and how you live your life.
So would you consider yourself a foodie? Is that how this?
I love food. I love eating.
But are you a cook?
I like cooking.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm the best cook in the world,
Doesn't
but
have to be.
That's the whole point, is that you don't have to be the best cook.
You have talked to me about evolving into meats, local meats, and local dairy, and products that are beyond the jarred and boxed.
Exactly. So when I thought it would take a year before we started to bring in fridges and bring in that kind of thing. So as we come around, you'll see we have 4 now mini fridges where I'm bringing things in. And this isn't because I thought, oh, I'm ready for this. This is customers saying, you need to bring this in. You need to bring this in.
This will work.
So we have 4 mini fridges, which will then evolve into a large fridge to bring in more dairy, and then a freezer where we can bring in meat. Having grass-fed beef and meats in general that are clean, that people know where it comes from, that they can take it home and not worry about it. This is sort of our party center, and I'll be bringing in more and more party foods for people to try.
And there's 2 sections here that I come to every time in the store and go to because there's something new.
Yeah.
You've got a wide array of oils and sauces. Is this a hot sauce?
That's a sweet chili sauce, but I'll be bringing in more. Hot sauces are very big here, and people take it very, very...
oh, they are.
Oh, yeah. They love hot sauces, and I'll be talking about Sassy Roots, local Little Britain hot sauces. This is a woman that does this out of her passion, grows the majority of the ingredients that are in her jars. What's really important is, even though she does this sort of as a sideline and it's her little passion, she's won all kinds of awards for her sauces. Right.
So we're over here, and I see that you have some peanut sauce. I just needed that yesterday.
Right.
You've got a little bit of pickling.
Pickled things.
Olives over there.
People love the pickles, all the salad dressings that people love, and then some, and the variety of different salts and different oils.
One day I was in here, this was new. First of all, I love the display.
I
think it's a wonderful display. It doesn't look overdone. I tried the cranberry jalapeno, and that on fresh tea biscuits, a fresh dinner roll, elevated that.
Taste of the Okanagan that makes several of the jams and jellies that are here is a mother-daughter team out in the Okanagan, small batches, clean ingredients. They are amazing, and they said that the cranberry jalapeno jelly is an alternative to cranberry sauce over the holidays.
So this would be good on your Thanksgiving turkey or your Christmas turkey, which is coming up.
Absolutely.
A lot of this is bringing a different culture too. So there's some diversity to your food that we can experience. I do know that you are thinking about doing some cooking workshops.
Absolutely.
And those workshops are going to bring a cooking skill or a new product.
We get asked all the time for different flavors and different spices.
You are thinking about doing a home delivery.
Yes.
Is that a definite?
It's a definite 100%. I'm working on the website right now. A lot of, as you said, a lot of seniors live in town that say, oh, I get someone else that does my grocery shopping over the winter, so I won't be seeing you until the spring. And I thought, oh, hold on, how can we remedy this? Definitely going to be doing local delivery and then extending that to shipping, because we've had people that don't live in the area that say, how can I get that product after I fall in love with it? And we will do shipping as well.
Tell us about this product.
Ma's Best Soup is a soup company I just found based out of Newmarket, Ontario. Ma is Ma. There is actually a Ma. and the owner of the company right now is the son, called Miles. Clean ingredients, no preservatives. They need to stay in the fridge, but they have a 3-month shelf life. And the beauty here, Chef, is that you open up the jar, you put it in a pot, you warm it up, and that's it.
That's it. And it's 1 liter.
Yeah.
And that looks like, good a starter soup for about 4 people.
Right.
A meal for about 2 people.
These has about 25 different flavors, are gluten-free as well. And that's, again, we know how important that is. And then right beside it, I have a bunch of toppers. If people want a little crunch, they can add some croutons. They can add some nuts on top. They can add some pesto if they want to mix in with it. So you can add even to your soup, which is delicious already, but you can elevate that
There's so much inspiration here to eat.
That's the fun thing.
We've taken a full tour. We're now back at the beginning where we started, and this is where we have some pasta sauces and pasta. This isn't just everyday pasta.
The ones I wanted to mention are the ones that are chickpea, red lentil, and green pea. And the reason why is, again, the gluten-free aspect of things, where you can still have pasta and enjoy and love your pasta without, any issues if you're gluten intolerant. Plus, we have a lot of pasta sauces that are gluten-free as well.
I love to watch the way people are so enthused and so excited when they find
they
something
read
like
the product.
These caramel sauces, these teas, there's delicious things here. We want to mention that your hours are quite extensive, 9 in the morning till 9 at night. And will your hours change, though, in the winter?
They will change slightly. Again, when we opened up, we wanted it to be as accessible as possible. We don't want to close early. If you're working, if you have things that you're doing during the day, we want to be here for you at the end of the day. So right now we're 9 to 9, and we will remain open 7 days a week. We will shorten it a little bit in the winter, only because we're adding delivery. But we'll, again, in the spring, reopen to 9 to 9.
You've got this delivery program, which is ingenious.
That's the beauty about the space, is that we will be having workshops where people can actually come in and see a chef create the product that they can then get the recipe, take home, and actually make at home.
And in the wintertime in a small town, we all need those kind of exciting things.
We need a little something to do.
We sure do. Thank you so much for bringing us into your store today. You were closed while we were here, so if you didn't see any customers, it's because she did that to make this really smooth. That door is going to open, and I can see people out there already wanting to come in, so we better stop and let them come in. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much, Chef. What a pleasure.
And we're back. That was a great tour. If you get an opportunity to go to the shop, you're going to find a lot of good pantry items, things that make meals. They're not all just fancy things. She's got fresh soups. She has soup mixes. Now, we did make the risotto, and I've taken it out. I put it in a bowl ready to be served. Tasted it. It's delicious. You need to add a little salt and pepper to it. The little kit doesn't include that. So I've taken the chicken out. It's done. I forgot to mention, the one thing about a spatchcock chicken is that it cooks really quickly. So you can do this, you come home from work, you do this, you put your veggies in, and you'll get it cooked really quickly. So the veggies look done. We're going to remove the herbs. We'll discard those. And we'll start carving this up. Thanks so much for showing up today. If you get a chance, stop in and visit with Helen and Richard at the Fancy Pantry on Bolton Street in Bobcaygeon. They do have some really neat things that they're including for the winter. They have free delivery within the Kawartha Lakes. So that helps. You know, you go onto their website. Their website is in the video, and it's also here. Look at their website. Give them a shout if you need anything. They'll deliver it to you. It's fantastic. Thanks for showing up. Until next time, keep cooking.